Two of the most fundamental exercises are pull-ups and push-ups. You see people getting bigger and stronger in animes doing push-ups and pull-ups. You see them in prison workouts. And the great thing about push-ups and pull-ups is that you don't really need any equipment. You can do pull-ups just at a park outside, and you can do push-ups right in your bedroom. And so for the next 30 days, I will be doing 50 push-ups and 50 pull-ups every single day to see if push-ups and pull-ups are really all that you need to build and maintain muscle. And during the span of the next 30 days, I'll be tracking my weight, my max pull-ups, and also how my physique looks visually. Okay, so my overall strategy for push-ups is doing 2 sets of 25 every single day. That's pretty simple. And then for pull-ups, my plan is to break them into chunks of 5, 6, or 7 pull-ups at a time. So here's day one. I started day one at around 164 pounds, and this is me doing my max pull-ups. To keep things consistent, I always recorded my max pull-ups and also my weight first thing in the morning. And on day one, as you can see, I was able to get 7 pull-ups. What's up, guys? It's day 7, December 7th, with a quick update. Alright, so one week in, I weighed in at around 165. I'm not gonna show you guys the push-ups that I did just because I feel like that's pretty boring, but here are my max pull-ups. So this is day 7, 1 week in, doing my max pull-ups. During this week, a lot of the pull-ups I did were broken down into sets of 5 or 6. And as you can see, I did make a decent bit of progress on my max pull-ups. So during the week, as I'm doing my 50 pull-ups, I would switch up the grip a little bit. So most of the time I would do my overhand grip just like on these maxes, but sometimes I would switch to neutral grip just to target the lats a little bit more. So on week 1, I was able to hit 12 pull-ups as my max. And now on to week 2, I weighed in at 166 pounds, so I was 1 pound heavier, and here are my max pull-ups. So we're at week 2 doing my max pull-ups. As you guys will be able to see, this week was a little bit hard for me. Right around 5 pull-ups, so right around here, I began feeling very tired, and so I started slowing down, which isn't great because the previous week I had gone through 5 pretty easily. And I'll get into why I think this way a little bit later on in the video. But week 2, I was only able to get 10 pull-ups. So my max pull-ups did go down. I think my back was getting too fatigued from doing pull-ups every single day. And I also did gain 1 pound of weight. I don't know how big of a difference that makes. Yeah, so from this point forward, I decided to cut down on the volume and just do 30 pull-ups every single day. Okay, so on to week 3. In between weeks 2 and 3, I started doing weighted pull-ups. So I just added a 10-pound weight in between my legs and I started doing pull-ups with that weight. I do think that this made a pretty big difference in my pull-up strength because I weighed in week 3 at 170 pounds. So I've gained 5 pounds since the 30 days started. And this is because I'm trying to bulk, I'm eating more. It's not because of the push-ups and pull-ups really. But yeah, this is my max pull-ups. Alright guys, here we go. Week 3, doing my max pull-ups. This is a week where I started incorporating weighted pull-ups, which turned out to be very helpful because not only was I able to gain weight this week, but my max pull-ups also did go up. And I was quite determined to make my max pull-ups improve after the previous week's poor performance, guys. And this week I was able to finish with 13 pull-ups. Let's go. Okay, so finally we get to day 30. Alright, we'll be testing our max right now. Alright guys, so we are at day 30. This is the last day of the challenge. I weighed in at 170 pounds, which is no different than the previous week. And during this week, I continued doing weighted pull-ups. So I started with 10 pounds, and then I would gradually work to 15 or 20, depending on how I was feeling during that day. And during this week, The first 10 pull-ups came very smoothly. This is a lot of progress compared to week 2, where I got stuck after 5 pull-ups. Now I'm having trouble here towards the end, and I'm pausing quite a bit at the bottom of the pull-ups, but I was able to finish day 30 with 17 pull-ups. I also did want to see if I could do a muscle up, so I attempted one. And whether it's due to lack of technique or fatigue, I was not able to, unfortunately. Okay, so now let's take a look at how my physique has changed after 30 days. So here's the before and after of my back. I feel like in the after pictures, my back does look fuller and has a better shape. Although this could be the placebo effect and me being delusional and hoping that this challenge actually made a difference in my physique. So here's the before and after of the front. Honestly, guys, I don't see that big of a difference. And I'll get into my push-up progress a little bit later in the video, but unfortunately, I don't think it made that big of a difference. Okay, so now let's take a look at the results. So for the past 30 days, my max pull-ups went from 7 to 17 and increased by 10, so that more than doubled. My weight, I gained 6 pounds. So during this period, I gained weight. My max pull-ups were able to increase as well. So that leads me to the conclusion, guys, that doing pull-ups, it'll help your back strength, help your back physique, and doing pull-ups every day will obviously allow you to do more pull-ups. The biggest changes week by week were from week 0 to week 1. That makes sense because it's like a beginner gains. Pull-ups weren't really part of my routine in the past, so once I started doing pull-ups, you see that little first increase in progress. And then from weeks 2 to 3 and 3 to 4, I was able to increase my max pull-ups by 3 and then by 4. This also makes sense because during that time, I incorporated weighted pull-ups, which are very, very effective in my opinion. Another thing to note is to not overtrain and not do too much volume when it comes to pull-ups, because from week 1 to 2, my max pull-up actually went down from 12 to 10. And my conclusion was because I was doing too many pull-ups. So if you plan on doing a lot in one day, make sure you incorporate rest days. But if you want to do pull-ups every single day, just don't do as much volume. Okay, so for chest and push-up progress, I didn't have a quantitative way of measuring progress. I was planning on just looking at the progress pictures, but as you guys saw, there basically was no difference. I think that push-ups are a great way to maintain strength and maintain size when you don't have access to a gym. But if you want to gain strength and gain size, you can only get to a certain point with just body weight exercises like push-ups. Maybe if you're able to add weight to your push-ups, that'll be more beneficial, but I didn't think about doing that, so I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, guys, that's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm gonna keep doing push-ups and pull-ups, and I encourage you guys to do it as well. And I'll see you guys next time.